we caught Master Devolos from Hasbro's Pro Series in our spider web.
Are you ready?
Dude, that's pretty cool. Welcome to the spider web. For this video, I will be unboxing Hasbro's Pro Series Master Devolos. Oh boy, definitely took me a little bit too long to get to this bay. I had it since Christmas, and I never unboxed it until now. Really fascinated by this one because they gave it a ton of modes. They really took the balance type aspects of Master Devolos and just went all out. Like, this bay has a ton of modes. Flip to the back and I'll show you why. So, we have the Master Devolos chip. Spins both right and left. Pretty cool. So that means we do have the flip gimmick for the Master layer base. Finally, after all this time, it says on the box, adjustable spin direction. So for those who've been doubting, there you go. And then it comes with the 12 disc. Probably the worst part in this entire box, but I'll get to that later. We have turn frame, pretty nice. And Zeta, not Zeta Dash, sadly. I was hoping for a Dash driver, but So 3 tip modes. We know turn has basically 2 modes, and then you have Master Devolos that has 2 modes, right or left. So yeah, pretty crazy bay in terms of different types of modes. Switch to a lot of stuff with just this one bay. Alright, without further ado, let's open this bay. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, for those wondering, okay, I think these parts fell out of this wrapping, or like, you know, usually when you unbox a new toy from Hasbro, the toys themselves are not only in a box, they're also encased in plastic. Yeah, we don't see that here, and apparently it's because there's a plastic shortage, and Hasbro is trying to save the plastic for their toys, and that's why you see Pro Series all boxed, like it's all cardboard for the boxes now. Same thing with QuadDrive. So there's a fun fact for you. Alright, we got the parts, and boy, they look really good. Like, this bay looks beautiful. Let's start by going over the Master layer base. So, Master is pretty good. So, of course, you have the right spin mode, which is this. Then left spin mode, which is that. Oh, don't mind the missing blue stickers. Basically, when I tried to put them together, they kind of just fell off. Yeah. But anyways, Master in left spin mode is okay. Master in right spin mode, though, definitely a lot more solid. Right spin mode seems to be more of the attack mode, from what I can tell, while left spin mode is more defense based. Bay with this layer should not be way too burst prone. Like, because of the way how this is shaped on the outer rim, like, it's actually pretty good for defense combinations. And just, like, in general, burst resistance is pretty good with this one. Next up we have the LW07 weight, and this weight does not look good at all. It's very small. Is it really a weight or is it a core? I don't know, because I tried looking this part up, and yeah, I don't think it has an actual name, so it might not actually be a weight, although it kind of functions as one. But it's so small. It's weird. Except we have the Devolos chip, and this chip looks pretty good. I love the colors and everything. I'm glad they painted the eye. The thing about this chip is that the teeth are not that good. I'm not talking about like durability wise. That varies on mold apparently. What I'm talking about is just in terms of burst resistance. Yeah, this is kind of just not cutting it. I love the glitter effects in this chip and everything, but the teeth are just, I don't know. Now before we move on to the other parts, I just wanted to show how we actually change the spin direction on this bay. We're gonna need all these. Alright, so Master. Say we want it in left spin. So we're gonna go ahead and flip it over like this. Make sure these tabs are pulled inwards. They're not like this. They shouldn't be like this. Pull them in like that. With this, gotta position it like so. Place the chip in like this, or I guess you can do it like this as well. It doesn't really matter. And then flip this over, pull these white tabs back out, and now it's locked into left spin mode. Very cool, very cool. And if you want right spin mode, we can just flip it over, pull these tabs back. Now push this out, flip it over, insert it like so. Boom, and boom. There we go, right spin mode. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, very cool. Next up we have the 12 disc, and 12 is bad. It's a pretty bad disc. The one thing I'll give it credit for is that because of how light it is, it actually increases burst resistance on bays. Typically the heavier the bay is, the easier to get a good lock in on it, so you can deal more burst damage and push the slopes or move the teeth or whatever. But no, with this disc, because of how light it is, it's not that easy. There's a lot of downsides that make this disc probably one of the worst though. One huge downside is that because of its lack of weight, a bay using this disc will take a lot more knockback, and you'll usually get ping-ponged around the stadium. We might actually see that with this bay in the future, maybe later on in the test battles, but yeah, this disc is not good in that regard. Also, the way how this is shaped, look at these are sharp. These are pretty sharp. I do not recommend using this disc without a frame being attached to it, because otherwise it will damage other Beyblades in battle. Like, it has a history of doing stuff like that. Pretty dangerous. I mean, it's not like, oh, it's gonna scratch me if I just poke it like this. It's not. But if it's rapidly spinning and you randomly reach your hand in there, try to scoop it up or something, yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt, so I don't recommend doing that. It's gonna hurt. Next up, we have the turn frame, and turn, probably a lifesaver for this bay, or the stock, but at the same time, probably not. You see, the cool thing about turn is that it has two modes, attack and defense mode, depending on the spin direction. So let's say Master Devil is spinning to the right. This would be defense mode because the protrusions are facing this way, and the outer rim here is smooth. So when it's spinning like this, and a bay makes contact with this, it's just gonna like kind of just brush off. So that's defense mode. Pretty cool. Now, in regards to a right spin bay again, flip it over, we got attack mode because protrusions are now facing like this. So when a bay hits it, yeah, it's gonna take some damage. It's not just gonna brush off. It's gonna go like this and then boom, just get hit right there. Downside about this disc. I said disc. Downside about this frame, scrapes the stadium. Especially in attack mode, you do not like it. You just don't. It will kill the stamina. Pretty good on taller bays with wide bases, so I guess hypersphere bays. But in general, it's kind of like And finally, we have the Zeta driver. I wish it was a dash driver because dash drivers had tighter springs and therefore give bays better burst resistance, and that would have made this pack a little more viable. However, no. But even if Zeta was a dash driver, it still wouldn't be all too great because Zeta is not all too great. It's a fun driver, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, definitely really fun because it has 3 modes: stamina mode, defense mode, and attack mode. And in order to change modes, as you probably already saw, but I'm gonna go over it anyway. Pull this out, and then you can just rotate it, and then let's say I wanted stamina mode, press it back in, and there we go. Switch the modes. Thing is, none of these modes are actually that effective compared to an actual driver that's relative to said mode. So let's say, oh, stamina mode, yeah. Compare this to absorb, nowhere near as good. Attack mode, yeah. Compare this to something like extreme, Probably not as good either. Defense mode, you compare this to something like Atomic? Yeah, definitely not as good. It's just what it is. It's kind of just overall a mediocre driver. It's still really fun, don't get me wrong, but in general, it's kind of just mediocre. Alright. Big L for this bay. I'm not talking about what I went over. I mean, it had some L's and W's there, but you want to know what the biggest L about this bay is? In my opinion? Other than the disc. This gap. This gap is bad. If a bay gets a good hit in between the frame and the layer, this bay is going to lose a lot of stamina. You can bet on it. Especially if the other bay doesn't burst. It's kind of like a double-edged sword thing. Because there'd be some bays that have like bad burst resistance get clipped in here and then they get wrecked and they just burst. But other times it could be against this guy. And that's not good. Alright. Devolos chip. 2.54 grams. Whatever this is. 3.79 grams. I guess we can consider this as a weight. I guess. Very tiny weight. Disc. 16.51 grams. Mega light. Mega light. Glad Master has metal on it. Turn frame. 3.57 grams. Zeta. 5.76 grams. Master. 19.49 grams. Okay. Guess it doesn't have that much metal on it. Alright, Master Devolos. 25.80 grams. Okay. We'll put this whole bay together now. 51.64 grams. Okay, so it's definitely not way too light. Definitely not way too light for Pro Series. Let's launch Master Devolos in left spin first. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Attack mode. Oh, wow, Devolos looks really cool when it spins. Whoa. That is just awesome. Right, it seems like with attack mode it has some pretty decent movement. Defense mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Yeah, as expected, launch it really hard, it's going to zoom around the stadium a bit, then quickly drift back to the center. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay. It even drifts to the center faster than it did in defense mode. It's the Valtryek, the one that comes with Blitz Pro and Jolt. I'll leave Devolos in defense mode with both the driver and the turn frame. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Oh! Come on, Devolos, hang in there. And it loses to Valtryek. Oh no. That's not good. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Yeah, turn frame scraping. Whoa, Devolos getting flung around. Whoa! Gosh, Devolos, no. And it lost again. Alright, well it did push the teeth on Valtryek, but of course Valtryek has that stopper going for it. Oh, but I will say that the teeth on this aren't actually moving that much. Like, they don't feel like they're that strong, but I guess it's the layer, it's defensive capabilities kicking in for this guy. Pretty nice. Let's flip the turn frame to attack mode and put Devolos in attack mode for the next battle. How about Perfect Phoenix? 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Okay. Oh, there goes the armor. Come on, Devolos. It may have been Devolos, actually. By a little bit. Definitely a very close one, though. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Yikes. Very quick recount finish for the Phoenix. My stamina mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Oh gosh. Very awkward back and forth going on there. Oh, there goes the armor. And there goes Devolos. Yeah, Devolos takes the L. Hooray. Yay. I'm afraid to put up against some uber strong ones like Lord Spryzen, but Lord is in right spin. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. And maybe Master by a little bit. Alright, Lord is in left spin, Master is in attack mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Balance types. They can both change spin direction. Really cool. Oh no. Doesn't look like Master's hanging in there right now. Come on, Master, you got this. And no, you don't. You lose. Alright, alright. Zwei Luminor in attack mode. Let's flip the turn frame back to defense mode and put Master in defense mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Whoa! Oh gosh. Come on, Master. Should be able to beat this guy. Okay, so at least beat Zwei. That was in attack mode anyway. What if we put Zwei in the stamina mode? Because that's the best mode on Extend Plus. Might as well put Master in stamina mode as well. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Turn frame definitely straights every now and then. Whoa! And there goes Devolos. Not looking too good for this guy. Let's go ahead and flip Master Devolos from left spin to right spin. Still battling Zwei? How about let's go all out attack mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip.
Nope.
Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Yikes. You know, I blame the 12 disc. I seriously blame the 12 disc. This guy is so easy to ping pong around. Let's get Judgment Joker out of nowhere. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Wow. Okay. Okay. We got beef up. We gotta go from attack mode to defense mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Whoa. Judgment nearly self-KO. Oh no, the turn frame scraping. But Devolos gets the win. Alright. Try this again. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Ooh, another near self-KO in the same pocket. Be more careful, Judgment. Okay, Devolos wins. Stamina mode, let's battle Valtryek. Again. Time for some revenge. 3, 2, 1, then yeah, you're totally gonna beat Valtryek now. Right spin seems to be the better mode. I can already tell right spin is better for Master Devolos. Left spin's okay, but with the stock it has, isn't really doing it too well. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Very close. Maybe Master though. All out attack mode before we move on to Phoenix again. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Ooh. The good thing about this Bey being light is that it can move around when in attack mode. The thing is, it probably can't really deal way too much damage. Oh, well, it beat Valtryek, so nice. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Ooh. Wow. Devolos, okay. Way better in right spin mode. Way better. Right spin mode is where it's at. Way better. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Ooh, there goes the armor. Oh yeah, the armor's getting in the way. Yep, that's Phoenix. Alright. Leave the frame in attack mode, but put Devolos in defense mode. Gonna mix it up a little bit. 3, 2, 1, let it rip. Wow. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, not looking too good for that. Okay, Spyder stats. What do I say about this guy? Devolos is okay. Really good burst resistance, looks amazing. It's really all comes down to what parts it has. I think the turn frame is okay for it. One thing I've noticed is that because of how light 12 is, the burst resistance is definitely increased, but it takes so much knockback. Like, the Bey gets flung around so easily. If it had something like 0 or 00, I'm pretty sure this Bey would perform quite a bit better. Also, the driver, well, it isn't the dash driver, which would have been better for this guy. It's still okay. Zeta is really fun. The thing about Zeta is that none of the modes on it are actually that good. Attack mode, I mean, attack mode's okay. Defense mode is probably the best mode on Zeta. So in general, 6 out of 10. I mean, the Bey is okay, but I'm really glad it has the flip gimmick and everything, but left spin mode is not as good as right spin mode, apparently. Like, it lost way more in left spin mode. In general, I still like the Bey, and you should definitely be able to make some really good combos with the layer, but the parts that it came with, not so much. Alright, that's all I got to say. Thank y'all for watching, and keep blading. Stay tuned.